This brief presentation is based on Mark Giffrey's book, Data Driven Marketing, in which he talks about 15 metrics that everyone in marketing should know. Mark Giffrey is, of course, associated with Kellogg's School of Business, and this is a very popular book which is used to study, understand the subject of marketing analytics. The 15 important metrics he talks about are brand awareness, test drive, churn, CSAT or customer satisfaction, take rate, profit, net present value or NPV, internal rate of return or IRR, payback, customer lifetime value or CLTV, cost per click or CPC, transaction conversion rate or TCR, return on advertising, ROA, bounce rate, and word of mouth or WOM. In this brief video, I'm going to be talking briefly about the first 5 of these, which are brand awareness, test drive, churn, CSAT, and take rate. Let's look at understand the concept of brand awareness. If you think about it, if I say the word Dettol, what comes to your mind is antiseptic. If I say the word Colgate, what comes to your mind is a toothpaste. So the idea that you associate antiseptic with Dettol, which is not a dictionary word, or Colgate, it is again not a dictionary word. It is a word which the marketer has used to name that product. And he has very successfully put those words in our minds. To give a different example, if I use the word Blue Dart, what comes to your mind? A good number of you would associate it with the name of a courier company. But think about it, Blue Dart could as well be a dictionary word. It could be a dart which is blue in color. But a good number of us would definitely associate it with the popular courier company. Similarly, there is this brand called Lemon Tree. Lemon Tree is a very popular, again, hotel chain. If you think about it, lemon tree could as well be a tree on which lemon grows. But they have adopted, the company has successfully adopted a very good strategy and they marketed the product. And good number of us recognize Lemon Tree as a hotel chain. Same goes for this brand called Pepper Dry, which is an Indian online company which deals with furniture, buying, selling, reselling, and all that stuff. Okay, so your ability, simply put, brand awareness is your ability to recall a product or a service when its name is taken. To give you a good contrast, there could be any number of very popular brands in Japan or Nigeria or the Netherlands. I may simply not be aware of it. But an average Nigerian or a Japanese or a Dutch would be aware of those simply because he is living in those countries and he is using these products and is exposed to marketing campaigns based on those particular services or products. So let me say this again. Brand awareness is basically the ability to recall a brand. Okay, and to go in a little more in detail depth in this, you could easily measure this brand awareness either using what is called as top of mind awareness or spontaneous awareness or aided awareness. The next metric that I'm going to talk about is what is called as test drive. Test drive essentially refers to the percentage of customers who actually pre-test a product or service, avail a service before actually buying or purchasing it. So the most easily understood example is the automobile industry, wherein a prospective customer visits the showroom and takes the vehicle out for a test drive. This is also true in the case of the garment industry. If I were to buy a pair of jeans or if I want to buy a t-shirt, I would physically go, try it on, look for the fit, look for the color, and all of that. So the percent of customers, of course, it is not applicable in all industries or all products or services. The test drive, the idea of test drive applies to some products and some services, and it measures the percentage of customers who pre-test or try the product out before actually making a purchase. The next metric is called churn. Churn measures the number of customers who leave you typically at the end of a year. You take a 12-month period and then you look at the number of people who are not your customers anymore. Suppose if I was a telecom company and I had 10,000 customers at the start of the year, at the end of the year, I realize I have only 9,000, which means 1,000 customers have left me at the end of the year. So 1,000 divided by 10,000 multiplied by 100, which is 10 percentage. So the churn rate is 10. There's also a related term which is called retention rate. So if 10% of the people have left me, 90% of the people have stayed with me. So churn rate is essentially 1 minus retention rate. So let me repeat that. Number of people who choose to leave me or stop availing my service at the end of the year is measured using what is called as churn rate. The next metric that I'm going to talk about is CSAT, or customer satisfaction. So customer satisfaction is best measured using the question, how likely are you to recommend this product or service to a friend? And to that question, on a 10-point scale, if somebody answers 8 or higher, you could say he's a very satisfied customer. Because I would only recommend a product or service if I'm very satisfied with it. I would not put my reputation to shame by recommending a product which myself rate at 6 on 10 or 4 on 10 or a lower figure. So only if I am satisfied and I'm very sure about its product quality would I recommend a product or service. So customer satisfaction is best measured using the question, how likely are you to recommend my product or service to a friend? And if for this question, if somebody answers 8 or higher on a 10-point scale, you could say that the customer satisfaction is very high. The next metric that I'm going to talk about is take rate. Take rate measures the percentage of people who are likely to accept a marketing offer. So very often you walk into a mall or a shopping complex, you would find people accosting you with the request for taking up a credit card. Somebody would approach you by offering a free product which they would want you to buy, say something like a soft drink or a cookie, or any of those products which initially they are trying to introduce into the market. So not everybody would actually want to try a newly introduced soft drink, or people would be very reluctant to take an offer to try let's say a food article or even credit cards. So good number of them would actually simply refuse it. So take rate essentially is the number of, or the percentage of people who would accept a certain marketing offer. So out of 100 people, so perhaps around 7 or 8 or maybe 15 or 20 may really engage with them and try the product. So it actually is a percentage. It talks about the number of people who would accept a marketing offer. So these are the first 5 of the marketing metrics discussed in the book Data Driven Marketing by Mark Jeffrey.